It's a bitterly cold day today. You can probably see from the screen there we have some snow coming down. Certainly not as bad as some parts of the country, but nevertheless we have been getting a certain amount in the last couple of days. It hasn't stuck though, as you can see from the ground that I'm on. This is just my second session of February due to the fact that I haven't been very well at all. However, I dragged myself out today and I'm having a short session on a small brook, although we've had some rainfall in the last couple of days or so, and the small brook is now quite a decent size because it's got a little bit of water on it. Doesn't necessarily fish that well when the conditions are like this, but beggars can't be choosers. Remember, we're still on national lockdown in England and we're only allowed to fish local, so that's important. So in conditions that we've got at the moment, I would certainly be spreading my wings, not just in February but January. And I know there are carp water in particular where I can catch carp right the way through the winter, even when there's ice on the pond. There are running water ways where I know that I'll catch chub and roach, and if I want to go a little bit further afield, then grayling. They'll feed, of course, but none of that is on the agenda just yet. So it's been extra tough really with the conditions, and also on a personal level the way that I've been feeling, but got a bait in the water, and that means that I've always got a chance. I've been here about 10 minutes. I haven't even had a tap yet. That's always a bad sign on these small brooks. They're either not fished, or certainly not fished very often by many people. And what I find is that most of the ones I target are in the former category. You drop a bait in and you immediately start to connect with fish, usually small roach. They seem to be the mainstay of the general brooks that I tend to go for. However, when you've been here a while, you've had a bait out there and you've had nothing, that's not a good sign at all. So I think I'm going to move downstream and I'm going to try another spot that has been quite productive for me in the past. Stick it out here for a while, I think, because there is quite an expanse of water in front of me, relatively speaking, of course. So I'm going to try a few of the different spots, because as we know, fish can be tightly shoaled and we could just be a couple of meters away from a large number of roach. So by casting around, I'm hopefully going to connect with something. That's the plan anyway. Again, I've been here a number of minutes and I haven't had any indication whatsoever that there are fish out there. It is concerning because this particular stretch that I'm on, I fished here before, very small roach, but lots of them. The sort of place that you can come even in the depths of winter and you know you'll catch. In fact, I don't think I've blanked on it here before. It's been that prolific. But in recent times, I've seen otters in the area. And if an otter gets on a brook like this, especially when it's low and clear, which it normally is at the moment, there's colour and there's a certain amount of water on there. But when it's low and clear, the otter will cause devastation. So it's like taking candy from a baby. So that's not good. I'm not blaming the otter, by the way. Sometimes as anglers we look for where we can apportion the blame. But we do have to take into account factors as to why waters decline. And if that's the case, that's not a positive factor. However, I'm sure that a certain number of fish will have survived, and that's what I'm after today. I think one roach would be a result in these conditions. I don't know what you think about otters. They certainly divide the angling community, don't they? I'm a very keen angler, obviously. I'm also a very keen naturalist. So on that front, I can actually see both sides of the argument. Sometimes though, there's 2 into 1 just doesn't go, does it? You have to take some sort of sides in the end. That's if you want to get involved in these things. I prefer to let the others do that and just go fishing. Perhaps the coward's way out, but I'm sure you understand the angle that I'm coming from.